So, some of you might remember, or you didn't watch those two videos, but I made both a video and a YouTube short talking about how Capcut on mobile is a complete mess, and it makes me want to buy a MacBook or a Mac Mini, maybe even an iMac, just so I can, edit videos, properly edit videos, not this, while I'm filming, because I gotta know when to cut the video. But turns out, yesterday when I needed to, you know, hide some information on one of my videos, uh, the video before this one, where I showed you how I set up Windows 11, well, set up Windows 11 properly on that computer in the other room, well, on the server. And turns out, Capcut on computer is way better than on mobile. Now, I don't know what it's like for iPhone, because the newest iPhone I have is an iPhone 7 Plus, and that can't even run YouTube anymore, because this doesn't run iOS 16. It runs iOS 15. So, what I do know is, on Android, it's a nightmare. On Apple, I don't know. But yeah, on Android, it's a nightmare. And I will show you by importing, I don't know. I'll find a TikTok. Yeah, a TikTok of Kratos. Very odd, but yes. So yeah, Kratos, TikTok. And when I click on 1080p, as you can see, I have 3 uses to use 1080p mode. And I already got an ad without even adjusting the slider. But yeah, I can export in 2K/4K if I buy premium. It says free. Wait, what? It says free. What? Free. That's what they meant. So, as you saw, they both changed to free. Earlier it was diamond, 3 uses. Then they changed it to free. Not really. That's a lie. I can still have 60 FPS, export, high bit rate. But it's the bit rate on the computer. You can actually set it to custom or like really high. Higher than on here. Because it's a computer. Computers are usually way faster than this. Because they have proper beefy GPUs. Or beefy CPUs. Either one is beefier than your phone. Probably. But yeah. Costs money to export in 2K/4K. While on PC... Hold on, let me pull up that video I was editing last night. Okay, well, this is not it, but still, it should show you what I mean. Oops. But yeah, as you can see here, this is the unedited version. Like, I haven't done a thing to this, because it's the same, it's gonna be the same story, you'll see what I mean. So, no changes to this. I go to export rate, 8K. Yeah, 8K, 60 FPS, MOV, why not? Let's do AV1. And you know what? Let's do higher. Let's export. And it's exporting. So that means on PC, I can export videos in 8K, 60 FPS, higher bitrate, no problem. But the highest one on mobile is 4K, and even that needs to be paid for. Now, true, they still whine about Pro mode on here. Pro mode! But it's just AI features like audio captions, AI tools, isolate voice, quality assets. Some of those things that my phone can do with its video editor, like isolate voice. So that's nothing new. And usually when I use isolate voice, it just sounds like I'm using a webcam microphone or like a business microphone. So not good. And just for the purpose of this video, I actually did download Capcut on this phone, as I showed you earlier. While I was talking, I was downloading on my phone. But yeah, not good. This is very awkward. And that's also why I said I very likely won't get a Mac at this point, because the main reason was, oh yeah, I got iMovie on there and Final Cut Pro if I want to spend a bunch of money once for really good editing software. But I could instead spend $500 on a Surface Pro 8 with an Intel Core i7, 11 something something G with 8 gigs of RAM and 128 gigs of storage. But if I remember correctly, it can be upgraded, hopefully. But it does have two USB-C ports and what looks like the classic Microsoft charging port, or maybe it's an SD card slot. I'm not too sure. But still, that's not too bad. Similar I/O to the MacBook Air. Similar. Not sure if there's a headphone jack on there though, but $500 is already way less than what a MacBook Air would cost in my country. New or not. Well, used. Because we're talking about used right now. But yeah. If I can just use Capcut on PC, then this is going surprisingly fast for 8K, higher bitrate, AV1, and it's on a laptop. It's on that little boy. I mean, it's a heavy laptop, but it's still a laptop. And it's not like newest gen laptop. It's a 40 series, 4070. But the processor is beefy. Very beefy. AMD Ryzen 9 7945HX. Costs a lot, but I plan to use it for like a decade. Maybe longer. If Windows acts up and I'm like, you know what, screw Windows. Let's get Linux. You know, if it comes to that. But yeah. Probably just get a Surface, especially because of the touchscreen and a movable keyboard. Those are my like main reasons why I like a Surface so much. I could just get a Lenovo Legion laptop, a tablet, for the same price, and it has the new, I think like last gen Snapdragon, or last gen, but that's still really fast. 16 gigs of RAM, half a terabyte of storage, and if I'm sure it has two USB-C ports. And one of them does 68 watts of charging, or 66. That's a lot. And it's got a 6,000 plus milliamp hour battery. I know it's not 7,000 though, I can tell you that much. 6,200 maybe. But yeah, considering how that's like pretty damn good. But the problem is it runs Android. And running Android means you can't run Windows apps. Like on that boy. So spending basically the same amount of money on older, used hardware, like the Surface Pro 8, would be the better route for someone like me who wants Windows or Linux. Like Linux, not Android. Because then I can run Windows apps, like Capcut, that isn't limiting me what I can export with, despite the fact I'm exporting on my device and not their servers or something. So, that's pretty dumb, don't you think? But yeah, while I've been yapping and showing when that you can export at 8K, and there's no watermarks. Actually, wait, I didn't see a watermark on my phone. Ah, no, there is. There's still, you can use, it just disappeared. So what I was going to say is, you have 7 uses, but as soon as this popped up, remove watermark for free, aka 7-day free export. That's just their fancy way of a trial. This disappeared, and it's now hidden. No, it's not. No, it's not free. It's 7 days free, and then it's over. Well, seven times per month. So basically, I can export my videos 3 times in 1080p. Then it's either 720p or 480p. Bitrate and FPS don't matter. And I can also do 7 times. Don't have that many fingers. Maybe I'll count my nose. Nostrils. Bam, 7. Then I can export it 7 times with no watermarks. That's 7 times. So if you upload multiple times a day, you're Joer. Well, shorts you can probably skip out on, but still, 7 times, that's only, for me, that's like a week before I get watermarks, or I have to use a different editing software, or a completely different phone to get around that. But I decided to give up on that. I deleted Capcut off this phone. This phone, it's in archive mode, because I use it so little that might as well just archive it. Have it on my phone, but not fully. But yeah, if I want to do editing, I'll probably get a Surface laptop. If if my wallet allows it, because currently my wallet doesn't allow me to get a $6 webcam and $3 case for my earbuds. These guys. Still regret this purchase. I should have waited until proper reviews came out that weren't like sponsored. Because these suck. I miss my Buds Pro. I wish I didn't lose them when I did sassy Among Us things in the national park here. I drank water. I drank water. But yeah, I regret losing those because then I was like, oh, okay, the Buds 3 Pro are coming out. Oh, it's got a new design. Oh, okay. They're saying it's going to get more battery. It gets similar battery. And I think the case even drains battery on its own somehow. I don't know how it does it. And look, it's charging. You were in the case the entire time. What do you mean you're just now charging? Yeah, it's got charging problems. Sometimes it's the left earbud, sometimes it's the right earbud, sometimes it's both. Sometimes the case is out of battery even though I just charged it. And yes. And now it's blinking that it's out of battery. How are you out of battery? I charged this last night. And you know how much I used it? Nada. Nothing. I used it for like 3 hours. Actually, no, even less. I used it for like 2-3 hours maybe on my bed. And then it apparently it's empty, even though it was full. Both earbuds were charged. The case was charged. Yeah, it's dead. So they promoted like 1 to 2 hours more than the original Buds Pro. Still worse battery life. I know, that was very off topic, but I had to get that off somehow because what the hell are these companies doing, dude? What are they doing, bruh?